direct election and indirect election. Go ahead, Julie.
An indirect election is when you vote for a party and the party picks who will be your candidates.
Okay.
And a direct election is when you, the people, vote directly for the candidate.
When you vote directly. Direct. Citizens vote specifically for the candidate or party in a given election, like the U.S. Senate. Indirect, citizens vote for a party that selects specific candidates for them. Good example would be the Parliament. Go ahead, click it. Pick me the next category since you got it right. Any of them at all? Oh boy, Enoch. Heavens and Betsy. Ooh, baby. Click that right there. Yeah, that one right there. Okay. All right, pick me a category, Julie. Go. Anybody in the group? We got to move fast, though.
2 points.
4.
2 points for
3.
Chapter 14.
2 for Chapter 14, legislatures.
No, still not that one.
You said 2 points.
Yeah, he said 2. Go ahead, Enoch. Fusion of power, separation of power. Your hand was first.
Okay. The fusion of power is, as it was like in England, where basically everything branches off of the parliament or the legislature group. Meanwhile, separation of power...
What does that mean? Everything branches off the parliament or the
such
legislature?
as you have the executive branch is a member of the parliament. It's fused in. He's not elected separately, such as in the United States.
So over in Britain, basically what you're saying is in order to be a member of the government, you got to be a member of the parliament. It's all fused together.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's separation?
Separation of powers is like in the United States where you can't be a member of the Senate and a member of the executive branch.
Okay.
You can only be one or the other.
You can only be one or the other. An example where the first one was Britain, I'll give you 2 for that. Example of the second one was Senate or United States. Go ahead, Kyle. I mean, Mike, I'm sorry.
I was going to say each branch has their own job. Like the executive branch can't interfere with like the judicial, like the courts or anything like that.
Right.
With separation of powers, you get checks and balances.
Go ahead with section balances. Go ahead with section balances. Checks and balances. Go ahead.
So that one group of the Congress and the Senate or the President or the
Can you give me an example of a check and balance?
President vetoing a bill.
Okay, President vetoing a bill. Separation of powers, and you're right, says that each branch is going to have its own powers and the other branches can't touch them. And Mike, you pretty well said that with some uhs and ahs in there. Kyle, checks and balances basically allows each branch a check on the other one to keep them from getting too powerful. So the president vetoing the legislation by Congress would be the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and click it, Enoch. Fusion. In order to be in any part of the government, must be a member of the legislative branch. Separation of powers. Each branch of government has distinctive powers, and the branches are completely separated. You said the second part. You said the first. Go ahead, Andrew.
I just have a question on the point system.
Yes.
So you get 2 points if it's a 2-point question and it has 2 terms. You get a total of 4, right?
As long as you keep giving me stuff I can use that I think is important. You start giving me irrelevant stuff, then I'm going to keep taking minuses off. Go ahead, Kyle. Pick me a category. Your group. Go ahead, Enoch. Just scroll down to the house. And hit it again. There you go. Hit it. Yeah. And hit it. And then touch the house. Okay, now we're good. Go ahead, Kyle. Pick one.
Articles for 3.
Articles for 3.
Articles for 3.
List all you can. You've got it first. Go ahead. Click it, Enoch.
Just list all the articles.
Well, no. We're just waiting. Pax Americana. You guys have it first, and the first hand I see. Okay, you're going to have it, but they've got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. What's Pax Americana?
There's a difference. One of the things that she's putting in here is in the article there's the strength versus
What is
power.
Pax Americana?
Okay. Pax Americana is basically the idea that America is a force for good and for peace in the world. We are a stabilizing force.
Okay. Pax Americana literally means what?
Pax Americana
4.
means peace America.
American peace. Yeah, basically it does. Pax Americana means American peace, and the argument of this article is that the United States, really since the end of World War II, has been a force for good, which is exactly what you said. What else can you tell me while I give you points for American
tell
peace?
you about that is that we can say this partly a stabilizing force because of our strength. We have a good GDP and military, but this doesn't necessarily translate into power. And
So what is strength?
Well, strength is measurable things such as your GDP and your military.
Strength is measurable things. And GDP and your military expenditures and things like this, this basically sets up the United States to be a world power. But what is power?
Power is basically the ability of you to, as a country, to influence other countries to do what you want them to do.
Influence or make them do what you want them to do. Go ahead, 1, 2, 3. Tell me more.
Okay.
4.
Help me out.
3. 2.
It was said that America was a good example of our being able to help other countries. Was things like South Korea and our I'm sorry, humanitarian.
2. 1. Anything else? Go, Malik. Actually, Christian, you're right. You were first. Go ahead.
According to the article, it was like spreading democracy through like Middle Eastern countries.
There was some democracy references in there. Can you give me anything else? Anybody in the group? You guys have it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, Malik.
They just mentioned a generational shift from how our generation views America, or there are people in our generation who view it as more oppressive and greedy rather than a force for good.
That's exactly true. There is a sense that historically that the United States has been a force for good in the world, but our generation is actually getting to the point now where we have a tendency of thinking that the United States is a little bit more oppressive or problematic. You're in Kevin's group?
Yep.
Anything else you want to say? 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
That we're like also like greedier now as a people, and we don't want to give back to our society.
Did the article say that?
No.
-3. I believe the article said that China was the one that we needed to be worried about. Go ahead, Enoch, hit it. You did give me the last correct answer, though, so pick me a category. Hit it twice, Enoch. Yeah, just touch the house. There you go. Okay, we're good. Go ahead, pick me one.
Constitution for 2 points.
Constitution for 2. Enoch, do you want to film? Go ahead, hit it again. List all you can. Death of a president. You guys have it. I think you've got it next because Christian didn't quite go all the way up. Go ahead. Death of a president. Your group's got it. 5.
It's controversial. It's the film from Britain, and it's portraying a president that's still in term.
It's saying a president.
Bush was in term. And they portrayed him being killed while he was still in office, which is controversial because that could be harmful.
All right, President Bush, #1 in this British film, was assassinated in this. So that's the first thing. #2, very controversial because he's a sitting president as opposed to other movies. Your group still got it. Tell me more.
You can plant the seed for people to do that type of thing.
There is an argument that this is planting a seed that people would do this, which means it should be what? It should be censored. It should be banned. What's the counter argument? Go ahead.
That's controversial towards the freedom of speech argument and freedom of expression.